What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast, episode number 197. How are we, Brody? I know, we got to figure out something funny to do for 200. Something stupid. Something ridiculous. Maybe we should get perms like we discussed while we were setting this up, and then you said, Jeff, I'm bald, and I went, shit, that's right. Shit. I'm doing pretty all right. I mean, I'm kind of like cool with the weather ending now, like the winter. It's cool getting snow, and then now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm over it. Oh my god! And it gets packed down, and it turns into just ice. Like my street is like an iceberg. Like, you were here, Super Bowl. You saw how bad it is. Nobody puts salt down on our street. And I'm in suburbia. Yeah. And I'm in suburbia. I don't understand how that's not a thing. I don't understand how we don't get that. Right? Yes! Oh my god, it drives me nuts. I mean, my neighbor listens to me. I'm sorry, you're a jackass. Like, why are you putting cars jackknifed like that? Oh my god. It's not my neighbor. It's the guy across the street. The neighbor guy's cool. I don't have any idea who the guy across the street is. That's why I can say that. Probably not. God, I hope not. Anyways, guys, moving on with it. If this is your first time listening to the show, every single week, Brody and myself discuss gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond to bring it to your ears on every major podcast platform known to man. And your eyes on YouTube. That's right, you can see us, just can't smell us. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast, and subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. Again, we're on every single podcast platform. And if you're listening for the first time, give us a try, subscribe. Our episodes go up live every Friday at 5 a.m. when Anchor doesn't fuck up. Woo! Yeah. Hey, I love the update on the app. We've just simply changed the logo. And your shit doesn't work. Key thing left out, my friend. Anyways, moving on with stuff. Want to jump into kind of what you've been playing? Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I have been playing NHL 21. We played that together. Some Hearthstone on my iPad. Played City Skylines on PC. A little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon on PC. And I played God of War. I did the update, the PS5 update. So I'm stoked about that. 60 frames a second. Looks great. I mean, it looks fantastic. And the game just looks even better than what it already was. It was already beautiful. So, I mean, I'm more impressed by it. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is just the frames. Like, I mean, if you actually, like, jump in there, like, graphically, like this, so you look like a blade of grass, you're probably not really going to notice that much. But just the frames per second, I mean, it's the fact. Oh my gosh, Brody's audio is so quiet, I can't hear him. What happened? What in the sweet hell? Oh my god. This doesn't make any sense here. Oh, you want to hit us up with upcoming games while I try to manage this incredible.
You can also get Rover Wars on Xbox One and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on Switch. On February 17th, you can get 30XX on PC, and February 18th, you can get King of Seas on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, The Protagonist X1 on PC, and Ultimate Atom Caverns of Chaos on PC.
Damn. They can definitely hear you now. So
okay.
It's probably just been like a delay thing. It's like good old Streamlabs when, like, you know, you shut it down and then you open it back up, and if you unplug one USB,
yeah, Streamlabs is awfully finicky like that.
We're good
it's
now. We're good.
It's always a nightmare.
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. This list, I mean, Super Mario 3D World.
I'm getting Super Mario 3D World for sure.
Yeah, you getting it?
Yeah, because I never played it on Wii U, so this is like a whole new experience for me. Okay.
Good? We're good. Oh my god. Holy smokes.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely getting 3D World. It's something that I've kind of been eyeballing for a while just because I'd never played the original, and I think it'd be a fun game to play with the family. So
yeah.
Definitely picking that up. And I'll probably play through it solo as well. So
yeah, let me know how that is. The Bowser's Fury part is what I'm kind of
intrigued about. Did you play 3D World on Wii U then?
I played 3D World, yes, a little bit on Wii U, but I didn't get like super deep into it. It wasn't something that like I was like obsessed with and I had to finish. But I mean, the whole Wii U in a nutshell, I really didn't want to finish. Yeah, for being honest. Yeah,
the Wii U was not great. That's why these re-releases for the Switch do so well, because nobody played them on Wii U.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to see a new Mario game.
You're asking for an awful lot there.
I know, right? Because they keep selling like hotcakes. But I mean, we're supposed to possibly get like what, that new Direct or something like that, some big day where they're announcing like their first party stuff. Yeah, and
there should be some Zelda stuff coming up too with the 35th anniversary of Zelda, I believe. So yeah, we should be getting some good stuff here relatively soon, hopefully. I mean, Japanese culture doesn't seem to be functioning nearly as well working from home, because that's just the way their culture is set up. They're very much a work focused culture, and so not being able to actually go into the office has definitely hurt some development over there, and game development in general. But especially Nintendo seems to be suffering from this lately. So hopefully we get something this year, because we really need something Nintendo this year, because. Yeah. Last year was a little dull.
We need a new Mario Kart, and I'm asking everybody to not buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
It's too late.
The free market dictates that they have to make something new.
It is far, far too late for that, my friend.
God. They're just gonna make like Deluxe Redux.
Yeah. So we're making Mario Kart 8 again, but we're actually going to take away all the extra content that we put in to Deluxe. Yeah, it's going to be great.
There's our gold mode. Everyone's just gold and everything's gold. Moving on to some smaller news. Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Steam. So this is the first time a Horizon game has made its way to Valve's platform. It'll feature crossplay with all other versions of the game. And this is coming March 9th. So that's kind of big. That's a big deal. I mean, the fact that she's coming to Steam like that, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably have played this through Xbox on PC, but for those that refuse to do that or to get Game Pass, this is awesome because it's a fantastic game.
Craig texts us, and it's the moment where I was like itching the bottom of my nose, and he takes a screenshot and just sends fire with it, and it looks like I'm picking my nose. I love it. What an asshole! So you think,
sounds about right.
I mean, you think that like with like Horizon 4 coming to Steam, we're gonna see. I mean, obviously we've had like some other Microsoft games come, but do you think like we're gonna have like a bunch more? coming on? With
It seems
Game
like
Pass
they're trying to
stuff?
get. It seems like they're trying to kind of span into Steam because I mean it's more money in their pocket too.
Yeah,
They
no,
can
for
sell
sure.
it on Steam or they can get them through Game Pass, and there's a lot of options there. Or you could buy them through Windows, but why? Or the
Ooh,
Xbox
I don't
Windows
think
app.
you want to buy it through the Microsoft Store.
Yeah,
That's not a good idea.
probably not.
Probably not.
But I think putting it on Steam is going to capture some different audiences, and there's a lot of people that are really diehard, like I mean, full like racing simulator, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
That maybe haven't played Forza just because it wasn't on Steam or whatever. So I think this is a good move on their part, and I imagine they're going to continue with this kind of trend.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
The Kingdom Hearts series is also coming to PC for the first time ever. The game, I mean, aside from an emulator, the games are available for pre-order now on the Epic Game Store and will release on March 30th. Not a whole lot of information here, but they're coming, and it's Epic Games exclusive.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people like screaming about this and freaking out about it and being like, "Look, now PC is actually Master Race because you can play it." And it's like, Jesus, like just one day without that moniker.
Nah, I mean, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to that. So,
oh man, yeah.
I feel like I'm the only person that does not like these games.
Oh, just coming out with it.
I just don't
You know what?
enjoy these
think
games.
the games are pretty all right. And I think that's me saying
really
that's probably
disliked
worse
3.
than you saying I just don't like them.
I can't
pretty
get
alright.
into them.
Yeah.
And I like Final Fantasy, and I like that style of gameplay and stuff,
Sure,
but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't played the original one in a really long time. But I have played 3 recently, and I just did not like it at all.
I mean, is it like the Disney crossover stuff, and you're just kind of like, it doesn't make sense?
I don't know. Well, the story is entirely incoherent, so...
Oh, man, wow. We have just stirred the pot for sure.
Before I played 3, I watched a hour and a half to 2 hour long video trying to explain the Kingdom Hearts story, and I was more confused by the time I finished the video than before. I was like, I shouldn't have done this. I should have just went in completely blind because it didn't make any difference. If anything, it hurt me more than it helped.
It makes me not want to play this.
It hurts my head.
Oh God. Something else that hurts my head. GTA 5 is still moving plenty of units. Grand Theft Auto 5 has now sold over 140 million units, and 2020 was the highest selling year for the game except for 2013, which was the year it launched. It's a 7-year-old game, and it's done better.
Do you people want a GTA 6 or no? Because this is not how we get GTA 6.
The rumor, too, is that GTA 6 isn't going to be coming until 2023.
Yeah, there's been a lot of GTA 6 leaks and rumors and stuff like that.
There's been leaks since 2014. You know, where it's just like, I really don't give a shit about whenever someone comes up and like, oh, hot new leak. It's like, no, every month there's something, and it's like, we think we found something on the island in the latest DLC. It's like, no, it's probably like someone hit a dick
trolling
or something,
you.
and a dick in the cave or something, and then someone takes that like, oh, this means it's in, it's going to take place in blah, 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 and the dick is pointing to the sun at this degree. My God, it's launching in 2022 on December 32nd, or December 32nd, yeah.
I think what it was there's like an area that you can't get past, but there's a dildo that's hung from the ceiling, and people are speculating you can jump and grab onto the dildo and swing across like Pitfall.
You can grab onto it with your ass cheeks.
It's a tricky maneuver, but somebody will figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, someone will unlock. It'll be like the aliens in the mountain in GTA 5. Good God.
I've talked about this before. I've bought this game like 3 times now. It's excessive. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I've bought it 3 times as well because I had it for
360. Or you probably had it on PlayStation.
360. Then I had it on PS4. And then twice because I haven't bought it for PS5 yet.
You had it on Xbox too, though.
Oh shit! And I had Xbox One, so 3 times. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I had it on 360, I had it on Xbox One, and then I sold it, and then I bought it again on Xbox One.
You and I account for 6 of these 140 million units. So
that's a huge percentage, obviously.
yeah,
I mean
we're
math.
we're pretty big fans. Yeah, I mean it's pretty stunning. But yeah, exactly. It goes to the Mario Kart Deluxe. It's like, why make a new one? If 2020 did so well, you would assume 2021 is going to do pretty well also.
One would assume, yes.
So why come out with
especially
something
with
new?
the new consoles, people are going to either. I guess they don't have to buy it again if they had it on the last console. But unless they switched, I mean, like in our case, we had it on Xbox. We'd have to buy it again on PlayStation if we got back into it. But
Well, you know they're going
I'm
to
not
come out
planning
with
on
a PS5 version.
Oh yeah, that was one of the first things they announced. Yeah.
It's like one of the first things on the reveal of
But
the system.
I don't think it's supposed to come out for a while yet. So
Yeah,
I think it might be the end of this year. I can't remember.
Probably won't come out till
But
like
yeah.
23. I bet you. Like, oh, here
Absolutely crazy.
you go. Wild. Wild.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the biggest launch in franchise history. So aside from sales numbers, Valhalla has also doubled the daily average users compared to Odyssey, and it is also Ubisoft's biggest launch in terms of digital and add-on revenue. Granted,
I would have never thought this.
the Viking setting really does a lot for it, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't even care about Assassin's Creed really like Vikings, and we don't really have a great Vikings game, so this is the closest we kind of have. And honestly, it's not a bad game. I need to get back into it, but obviously Persona's taken over all my time here. But the thing I don't like about it is that add-on revenue aspect of it, because really we were talking about this the other day. Half of the available armor sets you have to purchase in the store.
What's wrong with that?
Insane. There's like 8 armor sets, and then there's 8 of them that you have to purchase in the store that are like $20. It's like a skin, and they actually have perks too. Like it can be play to win.
Is it
like
$20
there's a
per skin?
What's that?
Is it $20 per skin?
For like a complete set,
Oh,
you
for
can
a
buy
complete
the
set.
skins themselves cheaper, but like if you
don't
want
get the perks,
yeah, you don't get like the horse and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like one of these sets is actually really good for raiding, which I mean, you're a Viking, you do that quite a bit, and it affects, like, I think it does poison damage if I remember right when you attack someone. So it's like some of this stuff is just, it's very obviously pay to win. And granted, it's a single player game, so whatever. Like you can get through this game just fine without buying these. But I mean, the packs they've released are pretty cool. Some of them look really awesome. There's one you can ride a giant wolf. What more do you want in a Viking game
You sounded
than riding
so pissed that you'd have to pay for something like that.
Yeah, I want to ride the giant wolf, damn it.
Yeah, should have been a thing just in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just still stunned that like Assassin's Creed pulls that.
I'm surprised a lot of companies pull some of that shit, but it clearly works for them. I mean, they're making money hand over fist. So,
Yeah.
but that's
So now it's gonna
why
be
they keep doing it.
Assassin's Creed, baby.
Oh, I think it has been for the last couple. I think
It's gonna.
I know you could buy like level up.
Yeah, but to
or
this
you could buy
degree,
packs.
to this degree, it's gonna be that for like going.
Oh, they've had it. Yeah,
They've had it to this exact degree.
Yeah,
Oh.
Odyssey had pretty much the same thing. I don't think it was as much armor sets, but I mean, you can buy like a consumable thing that boosts your XP gained and like all sorts of different things like that, and basically, pay to get through the game that you paid to play. It's weird.
Hey, it's a new neat concept. Okay.
Yeah, it's thrilling.
It's the future. What's not the future? Anthem. EA may be axing Anthem, or at least what is left of it. So this week, EA will review BioWare's progress with Anthem next over the last year and a half to see whether they will give additional help with the project or dropping the project altogether. Crazy, crazy prediction. That shit be dead.
Oh, yeah. Definitely dead.
I've never seen anybody talk about it afterwards. Nobody wants to play it. And I mean, God, it's been nearly 2.5, 3 years?
I think it's been
since we
about
first played
2
it.
or 2.5. Yeah.
I think it was still Chicago when we started playing that, and I was like, "My God, this is bad." And it was like you, me, Nick, Zach, and we're like,
Well,
"Why are we on fire in the water?"
I think we played the demo when like right around the time we started this show.
It took
Or
100
shortly after.
Wow, Diggity has outlived Anthem. New achievement, dude.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, the last
Holy.
year and a half, they've basically been radio silent, saying they were working on Anthem next, and Anthem is certainly not next. I mean, it's just not going to happen. They're not. This is going to get shut down so fast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I just
the fact that EA even strung it out this long is just just absolutely terrible.
I would say go back and listen to our Anthem episode, but I don't want you to because that's when our podcasting skills were just they were about as good as Anthem. And
I think we had kind of gotten out of our like 20 episode slump, but yeah,
you say that.
It was early.
that, but that comes from a man who's never went back and listened to episode 20 or 21.
Yeah.
You go back and you go listen to episode 21 or 22, and you're going to be like, oh,
I don't want to.
Right?
I don't want to.
Right?
I'd rather not. I know at least the first 20 episodes were rough. Anything after that's a blur. I barely remember last week's episode.
I mean, I can't even it's not even, it's like riding a bike. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, how do you have conversation over the internet? Or just how do you have conversation in general about something when you have to record it? It gets so weird. And now it's just like, we don't really care. We just say dumb shit.
That's what we excel at, is just saying dumb shit.
Let's go, baby.
So E3 might still have a little bit of life left in it. The ESA has announced that they still plan to have a digital event this summer.
Okay.
According to sure thing. According to some pitch documents, the Entertainment Software Association plans to hold live streamed coverage for their show from June 15th through the 17th. As it stands, the thing that is holding them back is major companies getting involved in the show, which as of now, they don't have that support. So they can plan all they want. If nobody shows up for the show, nobody's going to watch the show.
This sounds like the Anthem of conferences.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're going to do all digital, you're Sony, why would you put a middleman into this shit and pay them and all this shit when you launched your system, which has been so far one of the best launches that you've had considering the supply chain issues, and you did it by yourself?
Right. Yeah, none of these companies need any help. They don't need a middleman, especially if it's just going to be all digital. Who cares?
Yeah, E3,
that does nothing for them.
The ESA right now is like that guy where you're like 3/4 way done, or 3/4 way done shoveling your driveway, and then he comes out of the house and he's your neighbor, the ESA, and he goes, "Hey, do you want help with that?" And meanwhile, there's half an inch of snow on the driveway, and he's got like a spaded shovel,
right?
And you're just like, no, stay inside, just go away. Leave.
So I'm looking right now. Devolver Digital would probably be the smallest company that is at this, right?
Yeah.
They have 281,000 followers on Twitter, which I mean is nothing compared to Sony and Xbox, but at the same time, the moment they put something out, you have all these major outlets and all these smaller outlets still covering all of this stuff if it's interesting. So they don't. So
how many Twitter followers does the ESA have, or E3?
Let's have a little look.
I'm assuming it's more than 220,000.
They do have 2.3 million followers. I will give them that.
That's pretty solid.
But
that's pretty
if
solid.
you go, let's
Nintendo,
take a look.
Nintendo's gonna have like 10 million. Twitter followers,
Nintendo
probably,
of America is 11.1 million.
Yeah. So I mean,
PlayStation has 21.1 million.
Okay.
Xbox has 15.6 million. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they don't need help.
Yeah. I mean,
if
I would
anything,
like E3 to
E3 needs help from them.
Yeah, I would like E3 to just become like more of a dev conference, like a GDC. But then you
Yeah.
also have to ask yourself, is there even room for another GDC?
I don't really think there is. I mean, and we've got PAX for kind of more the fan aspect of it.
East
Like
and
E3
West,
was,
yeah.
yeah, and E3 was this like era or this like conference from a bygone era that we don't need anymore. We have
Magazine
separate
days.
conferences that do it better.
Yeah, it was magazine days when you go pick up like Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah.
Like, here we're on the, this guy took a photo of a tube TV with like a shitty digital camera and was like, look at the graphics.
Right.
So I definitely think it's gonna be gonzo. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's gonna...
and if it
digital
does
stuff
happen this
sucks.
year,
Like, what are they gonna do? Have a host? Like, what am I gonna sit there and watch? Like some C-list celebrity? Like, here we go. Oh, Kathy Griffin on the floor interviewing gamers.
Well, and Bethesda, one of the other major presentators at the show, is now owned by Xbox. So there goes another one.
Yeah.
The only other one would be. Let me look. Let's see
what's also neat too. The place where E3 usually is held, in the Los Angeles Convention Center, near the Staples Center, across the street is also the Microsoft Theater.
Right. It's
which
just
if they wanted to have
crazy.
an in-person event, they could just have it at the Microsoft Theater, which they have had it there for the last couple of years during E3, as they own that shit.
And Square Enix has like almost 700,000 followers on Twitter. And on top of that, they're in bed with Sony. So anything they put out, Sony's going to scream from the rooftops, right? So especially with Final Fantasy 16.
They did their stuff last year. They had their own separate thing last year, and Sony did their own separate thing. No, but like I'm saying, they did it at E3, right? Like
they were at it. Yeah, but E3 was canceled last year. But Square Enix does their own stuff.
Long.
I know.
Oh my god!
But Square Enix usually does their own conference at E3. But at this point, I mean, it's like Final Fantasies, PlayStation, pretty much all the way, and that's their major IP. So,
oh my god, what if Sony knew there was going to be a giant pandemic, and they just said we're not going to be at E3 this year, and no one took the hint? Oh my god!
Well, they weren't at E3 the year before.
That's what I'm saying.
Sony wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Yeah.
They knew it.
We love to make ridiculous conspiracy theories just because they're fun.
Just put them out there and see what happens. Somebody will roll with it.
Oh yeah, somebody will roll with it for sure. Moving on, Human Fall Flat has hit an impressive milestone. So developer Curve Digital has announced that the game has sold over 25 million units worldwide so far. And they also announced that the mobile release in China sold 2.5 million sales within its first month. It's pretty awesome for, a video game in China. To celebrate, there's a new Lunar Lobby available exclusively on Steam, and the game is discounted by 60% on all platforms. If you do not have Human Fall Flat yet, go pick it up. It is hilarious.
It's so much fun.
It's ridiculous. We had a blast with it.
I've played it with the boys a couple times, and we did a Let's Play forever ago, but I played it with my kids, and oh my gosh, man, watching those two fight and like grab each other's leg and like pull each other down and stuff, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Too funny.
Yeah, man. But good for them, man. That's crazy, because I mean, Curve Digital isn't massive by any means, and 25 million units.
Pretty like
relatively simple.
Simple, yeah. I mean, obviously it took a long time to make. I'm not going to doubt that, but like it's a pretty simplistic game to like grasp, and it's just fun. And that's where a lot of these big games land, like Fall Guys and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. So EA is set to acquire Glu Mobile. Glu is best known for mobile games such as Design Home, Covet Fashion, and MLB Tap Sports Baseball. All games I have never heard of.
I've heard of the Tap Sports Baseball, but I don't play baseball games.
No. Glu currently runs 15 different live services and will continue to run what will essentially be a mobile division within EA. The purchase will set EA back about $2.1 billion, and stockholders will receive $12.50 in cash for every stock they own of Glu, which is a premium to what Glu's current stock price is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We're not big mobile gamers here on this this whole platform that we have here. We're not big on that, but
Even when I do play mobile games, it's like Xbox xCloud or PlayStation Remote.
Yeah, and I'm like Hearthstone basically exclusively. I mean, and that's only because the game really is no different from playing it on, other systems. So that's why I like it. And it's a card game, so I'd rather use touchscreen than zip
touch
around
works
on
great
a grid
for those
system
kind of games
with a joystick. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty big news. I mean, EA is clearly swamping out. I mean, all these companies have to have some sort of a
mobile aspect
to them. Yeah, I mean it just makes so much money from like 35 and up year olds. Honestly, it's pretty nuts. Like the main demo for people playing those games. So good on them. They're doing what they need to do for their shareholders. Hopefully they can get rid of Anthem, and that's not a sink, like money-wise. But we'll see.
I feel like it's been a sink.
We're bringing it to mobile. Yeah, who knows? Moving on, Konami has revived a previously canceled game. So 6 Days in Fallujah, a game that was canceled back in 2009 after criticism, has been brought back to life in secrecy. So Konami released an announcement trailer for the game and stated that the tactical military shooter that is based on the true stories of over 100 different people who lived and fought in the second battle for Fallujah will release for consoles and PC later this year. That's pretty sweet. Always love to see older stuff come back. And also I like just like the hot drops. I'm like, hey, here you go. Like, I don't think you need to tease and do all these ramp ups all the time that a lot of these companies do. I think it hurts them more than just being like, here's something cool. And people go, wow, great. And I mean, people with social media, people just carry it for you. You know what I mean? So,
and I was concerned that they were just going to try to work with what they had already made essentially for this game. But it seems like they've, essentially started from the ground up and rebuilt this game because the trailer looked great. And I mean, it is interesting. And the reason they kind of jumped out of it on around 2009 is this second battle for Fallujah actually happened in like 2004. So they just kind of thought it was a little too early. But I think it's good that they're revisiting this. And I know there was a decent amount of hype about this game back when it was first announced, and obviously a ton of criticism, but I think it'll be good. And I think as long as they do it right, and I know that's a very broad statement, but as long as they don't codify it, if that makes sense, where like COD will take true stories or something and kind of twist them in weird ways.
Oh, yeah. I think you're saying like codify, like when you cauterize something. I'm like, oh my God.
No, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, like skew the history a little bit or leave something out because of that. I mean, you definitely, if you don't know, like, what the whole Fallujah thing in terms of like what it's all based off of, I mean, definitely people need to go watch like a quick documentary on it. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy story. Yeah. It's insane. So I'm stoked about that, and it should be a pretty cool story.
Yeah, I think so as well. So Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has a release date finally. So the game is available for pre-order now and will fully release on June 11th. The various different versions that are available. Buckle in. This is going to take a second. Physical launch edition is going to be $69. Early unlocks of the Carbonox armor and Pixelizer weapon, and the digital pre-order version includes these early unlocks for the same price. The digital deluxe edition, which is going to be $79. It will add 5 additional armor sets, 20 Raritanium for upgrading weapons, a sticker pack to use in photo mode, digital art book and soundtrack, and you can also upgrade to this digital deluxe version from the physical standard version for $10 more, because they don't actually have a physical deluxe edition, which is interesting.
Really weird.
Yeah. And all pre-orders will give you a $5 discount off official merchandise on the PlayStation Gear online store, which I'm surprised they didn't do a collector's edition for this. Because I feel like you could have done like a cool statue or something like that.
It's also a big like leap forward for them as a game. I mean, it's like a new console.
Yeah.
I figured they'd kind of, but also again, supply chains are completely messed up. A lot of stuff's coming from China.
That's true. Yeah, with the supply chains and things of that nature, it makes sense, I guess. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank, I mean, it's pretty big IP, and they did that. I wonder if they didn't go with that just because, they did the kind of not re-release, I guess, the reboot a few years back, and I wondered gauged it off of how well that sold, as well as the movie that they did, and I think there's enough hype around this game that they could have probably done a collector's edition and been all right, especially if they made it like super limited or something like that. But overall, I think this is pretty cool, and I think it's definitely something that I'll be picking up. I know my kids were already pretty excited for it. I'll probably just get the standard edition because but I don't know. I don't need the deluxe edition, I guess. But
yeah,
it's cool.
You'll get it. I mean, I'll definitely pick it up too. I'm excited for it. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's gonna be June 11th. I mean, it's pretty far out, but
yeah,
that is a rift apart from what I would like it to be. But
it seems like the first half of this year is just going to be a little dull. I mean, we just don't have a whole lot to look forward to right now.
Oh God.
I mean, game release wise, come on.
I know. It's fine. It's
but also life.
2021, but also just everyday life. Yeah, 2021 is a sequel to 2020, so it's okay. Hey, moving on from that, Terraria on Stadia has been canceled. So the developer of Terraria has taken to Twitter to express his issues with Google for the last 3 weeks. And Andrew Spinks says that he has been entirely locked out of his Google account, losing thousands of dollars in purchases, as well as being blocked out of his email and YouTube account. In retaliation, Andrews decided to cancel Stadia version of Terraria, and then he said that his company will no longer support any Google platforms going forward. There's that.
Yeah, I get where he's coming
what if
from,
he just
but at
forgot
the same
his password? Boy,
I guess he's. From what I understand, he was just trying to recover it, and Google's not working with him on it. But I don't know, man. I've heard of other stories of people getting locked out of like developers mainly getting locked out of their accounts and can't re-access them. But I just
really,
I feel like. I understand why he's angry, but I feel like this response it's not being met very well from a lot of the comments that I'm reading. Like people are just essentially calling him a crybaby and being mad that he is not going to release it on Stadia for that reason. Granted, I don't know how many people are really waiting for Terraria to come to Stadia because I don't really know how many people are actually playing Stadia on a regular basis, but I don't know. Like I get it, but I also don't get it because on principle, yeah, it's a pain. But
I mean, I feel like Google's going to reach out to him and be like, "Here's your shit. We found it in like the back corner on one of like our old last servers.
Right?
It was stuck in the pipes. Here you go."
Yeah,
and, I think that's just all it's going to be, and then I think he's going to be like, "Okay, I'll release it."
Yeah, it just seems. I don't know. It seems silly to put in all the work to port it over to Stadia and then just bail on it. Granted, I mean it's essentially I don't know. I'm torn on this. I get it, but I also don't. If that makes.
I mean, as of January 2020, which it's a decent time ago, the total number of Stadia accounts was 1.5 million to 2.2 million users. So 1.85 million users, if you want to like simplify everything.
Right. How many people are still playing it, though?
How many people are paying, too? Because you have to figure in the free accounts and other shit. That's my other problem.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because you can play it, I mean, for free on any Google device. And you're only, I mean, the limits are relatively minor, I guess. There's like an hour playtime, which I don't know if that just kicks you out and then you can get back in or how that exactly works. But I don't know. It sucks because I mean there are people that were looking forward to it.
Destiny 2 players November 2019 to January 2020. Okay, November 2019, they saw an increase up to like 24,000 players. Okay, It's pretty good, right? Like I mean, that, per day, great active users. Immediately drops off 7 days later, and it got all the way down to in January 20th down to 8,000. Or sorry, 7,000. a day.
I feel like a lot of people just created accounts to try it and see
For sure.
see how it is. And Destiny's free, so I mean, it's not like they even had to make a purchase there.
No.
So
Like, it's a go-to. It's like, okay, this is free. What is actually
and
free
it's a
to
good
try?
game to
Yeah.
test out. You know,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, how long do you think this actually lasts?
Stadia as a whole, or the Terraria
Stadia
thing?
as a whole.
I think it'll stick around at least through this year. I think it'll be like next year that they'll cancel it if they do. But I think they're gonna try to limp along, but they're gonna have to do something to entice people to come to this service, because as it stands right now, it functions fine and it works well. It's probably one of the better places to play Cyberpunk, I guess. But at the same time, like I just don't see any value in playing it on Stadia versus playing it on, my Xbox or my PlayStation or my PC or hell, even Switch for some of it. I don't see the value in that.
And I mean, like, they have a solid roadmap. Like, they have a roadmap that shows, like 400 games or something like that coming to it in 2021, which is nuts. Now, mind you, a lot of those games are like older games. And they're like, let's call them like, X Game Pass style games where they're coming over and, they're older titles. But whatever. I mean, that's a good amount. But it's always been fascinating to me. Like, remember when they launched this thing and they're like, and we're taking away YouTube gaming. And we're like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
This is basically, you could just utilize that as your social platform. Plus, you could have also made some sweet deal where, like, if you got, YouTube Red or whatever it is, you could get YouTube Red and get YouTube Gaming, and then also get like a discount on Stadia. I mean, it would have been a home run, like, in terms of like pairing that together and getting people into it. Other than that, I mean, this can't do it. But Google's never been really good at launching anything, so
Right.
they just acquires things and then slowly pick away at them. So I don't know how they're gonna handle this one, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll certainly see.
It's gonna die.
It's gonna die.
It's gonna die. I mean, there's not enough room.
No, there's
not enough room, and you already have xCloud. You've got PlayStation is obviously going to be going into cloud gaming because they have to. They're forced to now at this point, which is fine. That's what people do want it.
Yeah.
And, they know their shit. And again, it always comes down to IP. And if you've got something that, comes 6 months after it's already been on a console, I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have anything that's exclusive and enticing enough to actually play on that system. I mean, they had a demo for Phoenix Rising, and then it came to everything anyway, like a month later. So it's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next, or this last piece of news we have here is CD Projekt Red has had a pretty serious cyber breach on its internal network, which, just to add insult to injury.
The irony, dude.
Oh my God. CD Projekt Red is having some serious issues right now. But here's their official response to everything going on. They tweeted this out. It says, yesterday we discovered that we have become a victim of a targeted cyber attack, due to which some of our internal systems have been compromised. An unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network, collected certain data belonging to CD Projekt Capital Group, and left a ransom note, the content of which we released to the public. Although some devices in our network have been encrypted, our backups remain intact. Already secured our IT infrastructure and began restoring data. We will not give in to the demands nor negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of the compromised data. We are taking necessary steps to mitigate the consequences of such a release, in particular by approaching any parties that may be affected due to the breach. We are still investigating the incident. However, at this time, we can confirm that, to our best knowledge, the compromised systems did not contain any personal data of our players or users of our services. We have already approached the relevant authorities, including law enforcement and the president of the Personal Data Protection Office, as well as IT forensic specialists, and we will closely cooperate with them in order to fully investigate this incident.
Can I read the awesome ransom note?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
It's awesome. It says, "Hello, CD Projekt. You have been epically pwned. We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your Perforce server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. Little hint.
Ooh.
Little hint.
Nah.
We got some shit. Maybe this is just some bullshit. And they're like, we have also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you can most likely recover for backups. If we will not come to an agreement, then your source code will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how you shitty, or they're fucked up English here, but we'll see how shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and the stock will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us.
If you're going to leave a ransom note, don't you think you should spell check that shit?
That's fucking Russia, dude. It's fucking Russia. It's a Polish company. Russia's like, fuck these guys. We're going to take them down even further.
Oh, man.
I mean, you know, like, it's just bullshit.
I guess there's actually a spot where the Witcher 3 source code is being auctioned for, it was already up at like starting at $1 million or something like that. But I mean, we don't really even know if that's an actual listing for it or anything. Like at this point, you don't really know. Somebody could have heard the news and like, ooh, here's a time to try to make money and probably go to jail. But yeah, it's just, CD Projekt Red is not doing so hot right now. Not after Cyberpunk and then this, it's just kick them while they're down. It's incredible. Not good. Not good at all.
I can't believe it. I just, like, the game is an absolute joke. The launch was an absolute joke.
I have not played that game since December, I would say.
Yeah, why would you, right? I mean, seriously. Like,
I intend to go back to it at some point, but just the state it's in, and I just have no desire to go back to it right now. Not until shit gets fixed. I'll wait.
Shit
That's fine.
So messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is awful. You also have just made a game about hacking shit, and you just got fucking hacked. Can we take that in?
Oh,
I mean, I get in the chat,
the
someone
irony.
said they got Cyberpunk. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, there's probably some crazy HR documents, and there's probably some crazy emails in there.
Oh, I'm sure there's all sorts of crazy shit. The fact that this came from an actor too is interesting.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It seems interesting that an actor would take the time to go through with this. And I don't know.
Yeah, dude, games journalism has become fucking just slimy as shit. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do that here on this show. First of all, I'm not going to pay $1 million for fucking anything. I don't really care. It's not going to happen.
No.
Not going to happen. I don't want to hear about, like, Steve clogged the fucking toilet and Deborah got pissed off at it in the CD Projekt HR docs. I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah,
But
I could not possibly care any less.
They're just... it's turned into this muddy bullshit, and, someone's gonna buy it. Someone will buy that shit. It'll be...
But why would you want to buy the broken ass
Jason Schreier
source
will
code?
fucking talk about this shit. And I'll see none of it because Jason Schreier has obviously blocked me on Twitter, for which I'm thankful for. But nonetheless, I will not be able to see this.
I wonder how many people he's blocked on Twitter.
Oh my God, dude. He's had to have blocked I wonder if I'm still in Jason Schreier jail.
Probably. I doubt he takes the time to go back and unblock people.
I've got my time limit met on Twitter, so I can't even do that.
Your time limit, man.
I set a time limit on social media because, it's designed to keep you on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I only set myself for 5 minutes right now for Twitter. A day.
Zach says China will buy it. I said, or Russia.
That's right. Yeah, be the new P tapes.
I guess Russia doesn't need to buy it if they already have it. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, kind of interesting that they're like, oh shit, and they're talking about Witcher stuff in it. I guess we'll just disclose it.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know why we really need to see the fucking notepad file.
I don't either. I
could have said this and I would have believed it, no problem, because the thing's just been a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, yeah.
I don't know why anybody would want the broken ass source code for Cyberpunk anyway. Let's be really honest here. Nobody wants for the most part, people don't want the game because it barely runs. Why would you want the source code?
Maybe they're going to do what I've said from the get-go, that they're going to use the game as a massive piece of malware, because it basically was when it came out.
Yeah, I mean,
and destroyed
breaking
systems.
Consoles and...
Oh my god. Well, you know, someone's going to take the source and turn it into a sex simulator. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a dating sim on Steam by tomorrow night. It's over.
People were already modding it.
You got to imagine, man, that the CEO is just sitting there just going, fuck. Just, oh my god. You know, how many... Like, this shit is going to be in business books. And it's going to be studied for a very long time. Of, like, this is what you do not do. Like, PR-wise, marketing-wise, business-wise, security-wise, leadership-wise now, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
a hot
this
mess.
is essentially... This is like a how not to run a business for dummies. Like, it's just terrible the way this has all gone down for them in this past year. Oh, what a mess.
Just brutal. With that, guys, we're going to close out the show after this just awful news. That
finishing on a low note.
Upsets us, but also is somehow, like, could it get... what's the next thing that happens to CD Projekt Red at this point?
I bet there's going to be some people that leave.
Yeah, I bet there'll be some big leaves, but I mean, will there be some sort of weird story that comes out? I mean, are we going to get a Randy Pitchford, porno on a USB stick at a medieval times? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where we're headed at this point.
Yeah, that is the territory we're starting to
definitely headed that
go
way.
Towards.
Yeah. Now, I don't think there's medieval times in Poland, but, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what restaurants they have over there. But
what kind of dinner theaters?
There's got to be something
what dinner
equivalent.
theaters do you have in Poland?
Yeah, do you have a Dolly Parton? Maybe. I mean,
Stampede.
Something in the Stampede.
Dolly Parton's Polish Stampede. Kielbasa on a stick, baby.
Oh my god! I can
only say that because I'm Polish, so I'm making fun of it. But it's I don't know. It's wild. It's so bad. It's so bad. The company is so screwed at this point, dude. I really don't see how they recover from this without selling off their stuff. Or just head down and spend a couple years just, keeping quiet. It's really all you can do at this point. But now it's going to lead to another lawsuit. Because if there is actual credible information out there, both for employees' sake and also individuals playing the game, like users, I mean, you could do a class action.
Yeah, and they already have a class action, I believe, so
against them still, for Cyberpunk, Wow. Well, guys, if you like us, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. You can find me on PlayStation. My username is MapleJeff.
You can also find me on PlayStation at Luscious Brody. I'm also on Xbox at Luscious Brody. Yeah.
Come on, what's your Switch code, dude?
You let me know if you need my Switch code. You let me know.
That's right. I text you. I hit you up. I'll DM you. Guys, leave us a review. It helps us out a ton. Thank you to those who have left reviews in the past for us. And until next time, guys, see you. Treat each other well. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And protect your shit.